Hello again, everyone, and welcome back here live on Speed Zone TV. We are live down here in Bristol, Tennessee's Bristol Motor Speedway as we're about to bring you the dirt from Bristol Motor Speedway. Down here on the track here, Palmetto Racing League is once again back here live with us as we're getting ready to bring it down to the track and downside for a huge night of racing action. Hi, everyone, and welcome back here to the show here on Speed Zone TV. Got a hot one here for you today. We're going to take it on the famed half-mile long track here. Here is your starting lineup on the pole. It will be the throttle, Chantal Bottle in the 05, the outside. The dead man will be the number 14, Christian Schreiber. Row number 2, in the number 2, it's Aaron Vogt. The outside of him in the 12 is Andrew Ziegler. Number 3 is going to be the 45 of Brent Thompson. The outside, that 001. It is Boyd the second. And last but not least, our shotgun of the field in the number 83 today, it will be Joshua Fix. That is your starting lineup here today, presented in part by Workman Outdoors and VB Racing. The Tomcat versus the Big Fox. Going to be battling out here out of the gate. Although usually I've been told that 14 said he doesn't exactly like being called the Tomcat around here. He's definitely no mouse either. He says just keep my dead man nickname in check and we'll call it good. Can't say much about that. Aaron Vogt again looking for another win here on the circuit, looking to try to build some momentum up. Try to bring it down to the house and have it at it for a good little run here as well. Andrew Ziegler in the number 12 last time out. Had a great battle there as well. And with his family member Aaron Ziegler getting the victory though. This time not able to make the call. 7 drivers have dared to transfer themselves onto the dirt and onto the track and to go mano-a-mano in a heated rivalry of battle supremacy. We're looking to bring our drivers down on the circuit here. Watch out for this one here. You got a lot of fast-paced drivers, open setups on these things. So it's all technical side and external racing that brings it down the house. Onto the front straightaway, green flag is out. We are racing at Bristol. And out of the gate, that 14 going to go swinging it wide on the outside. Pottle going to stay to the bottom lane, try to check up to the top, and gets back onto the runs there now through the groove up to the cushion. More push on the bottom, but more slide jobs that can be thrown up there to get back into that cushion groove. Aaron Vogt now moving his way back into the third spot here as he is moving quickly, trying to get right up ahead of the 14. The old dead man puts that Tom and Jerry machine right ahead of him and keeping the Tomcat looking right at him, as you can see. I'm not sure many drivers are going to like having to look at the back of that thing and realize there's an angry cat that's really just looking at him like, what are you doing back here? But meanwhile, right now, it needs to be stopped worrying about what's behind, worry about what's up front. The throttle, Chantal Podolsky's got the lead out of the gate. A known dirt track driver for her own right, known for running it hard and running it good. Said today that this was probably one of the slicker tracks she's ever run in, and she's not used to it. Usually drive around in the tacky stuff, now having to completely overhaul it and go through the slicker than slick can be. The officials deciding not to go ahead and do a complete overhaul of the track slate. They wanted to go ahead and make it slippery and slick, make it a little more interesting, see if the drivers can handle it and how they would fare. It make a big difference when you're running on those open setups here. As you see now, not so much Frosty the Snowman anymore, but that is the 45 of Brent Thompson. Old grandpa himself just ran out here with the young cats and the young lads and now trying to see what he can figure out. Taking on everyone that comes to play in this game. And it looks like he's going for a little bit of an interesting setup here. It looks like he's got an H2O scheme on that, or HO, something like that. Hard to tell a little bit there. Whatever he's got going on, it's definitely an interesting little design, I'll say. U.S. Air Force number 12 there of Andrew Ziegler here, bringing out some Ford power there, the Ford Beast. Not doing too shabby either. And again, you're seeing a lot of drivers as well. They are running up towards that outside lane there. They are running quicker and quicker because they're using the cushion. It's kind of a grip hold, whereas the rear end slips out just a little bit running through that dirt of the black tar, then having to get into the lighter stuff. That's where all that buildup helps kind of keep them nice and straight and allows them to more or less power through the turns. Again, the biggest thing about dirt is, again, we've always said you want to slip and slide, yes, but the one big thing you really want to figure out is how to keep the thing as nice, as straight as possible. Grip is excellent when you get it nice and straight off the corners and off the bankings and increase the speed. That's why you see on asphalt, that's why they get so fast sometimes, because they're running in a kind of a laned out situation where the friction and the grip allows them to keep them nice and straight throughout the entire race session. On dirt, it's all about slipping, sliding, and holding on for dear life while you're just trying to fight not only a hunk of tongue piece of machinery, but you're also trying to go mano a mano with some heavy artillery of drivers that would love nothing more than to spoil the fun and spoil the game. So far right now, the Fox Racing Machine, Chantel the Throttle Pottle, new scheme out here for her today. Told us earlier today that she just got this thing done out of the paint shop. Wanted to drive something that felt familiar to her. If you guys have seen this scheme before, you may recognize it as the super late model design she came up with much long ago. Had a lot of success with it. The only thing she really changed on it was just kind of the front and the side logos. Used to run the old RBR scheme on there. Now has transferred on to the Fox Racing Machine. Definitely knows how to work with those groups and those guys and gals back at the shop. She still has a bit of that dirt background in her, obviously, from her days from the motocross to the ATVs, as well as now, obviously, dirt track racing. That's how she got her start in this crazy sport. And ever since then, she pretty much just started kind of kicking it out from there. This guy right here, though, he's no exception to dirt either. He was born and raised, as he says, in the dirt, from his farmland life to his work at the local tracks to now literally being an announcer for numerous tracks at the dirt track scene and even trying to get to the asphalt side someday. He's definitely one, though, that knows how to run it on the dirt, and it looks like right now just kind of conserving his energy and kind of conserving the truck. Trying to stay one step ahead there of that number 2 of Aaron Vogt. Aaron right now looking to see what he can do to try to get up to the Tom and Jerry 14 of the Dead Man as Shriver continues to hold him down. Aaron trying to kind of follow that same line, but you can see he's trying to keep a straighter entry in and off of the exits as well. But the problem is, you can see it too, he's slowing down just the slightest bit, just trying to make sure it doesn't overcorrect itself or get too hot on the throttle. Taking a lot of precaution and a lot of accessory there, just trying to make sure the machine does not get into a complacent state. Looks like a little bit of issues for that 83 as Joshua Spix has gone into pit road right now. Looks like he's going to try and get something kind of dialed back on the track. He'll put him a couple laps down here for that, though, as the field continues to work and maneuver through the drive here. 45 of Brent Thompson holding it down for the 4th place spot. And again, it's kind of funny when you take some drivers out of their element. It kind of shows you who might be the faster of the two or who might be literally figuring out how to run it with the best of them. As now we go through the list here, Andrew Ziegler having some competition to build up here. Doyle Boyd has moved the chains. The Jags 001 machine is now right in the mix. He's hard on that gas pedal, man. He is driving it quick and he's driving it hard, trying to get something going here. Has a little bit of competition also spewing down the bottom there. Aaron Vogt, this VB Racing number 2, trying to put the Tom and Jerry cheese machine to shame. I can't seem to find a way around it. Looked to the bottom. I thought I was going to try and throw the slide jobs on him there, but unfortunately, Slide Job City has been closed down. No business to be attended there. Nearly a 3-second gap there for the Throttle Chantal Pottle again. She is just absolutely cooking the turns and cooking it through the light stuff and into the dark stuff. Got a little bit of that grip and a little bit of that grease off the tires, and now just starting to feel the full-on rubber burning down and seemingly just kind of digging into that dirt. Again, the more you dig into that dirt, you kind of create yourself a little bit of a cushion line, the more the power and the speed that comes to. And that's what you want. You really want to get all that control and all that momentum favored on your side. You don't want to lose or link up on anybody, as you got a good battle there going on between Vogt and Shriver. Vogt throws the Slide Job City up, throws the slider over there from Slide Job City on the 14, and now Shriver putting into the 3rd spot. I think conserving may have been a little bit of a mishap there on that 14. Again, there will be a stage caution at lap 50 as well, just a note. And it looks like, yeah, we were right about him conserving, because now the 14, he's throwing a few of those bangers right in the machine. He wants to lay down rubber. He wants to get some speed. He's gripping it hard off the corners and hard off the turns. on Vogt, holding him down, at least for the moment. Oh, almost right in that back bumper there, though, of Vogt as Vogt tries to hold him down. Maya got a little bit loose off the exit thanks to that little tag in the entry, and the 14 just slamming, jamming down back on by. Man, there's some things you just can never expect around here other than just absolute pure hard racing and pure momentum. And I think you got a pretty good idea of that one. Lap traffic right now here for the 05, excuse me, as Paddle now has to deal with that 83 of Joshua Fix. Joshua also running a new scheme out here today, looking like a lot of folks wanted to get some new schemes up on the playing field and into the track as we bring him right back around.
My fault, Puddles.
The 05 as the caution has a brood. The 83 there, unfortunately, just taking a nasty, nasty collision as we're going to go to the Speed Zone TV instant replay, brought to you in part by our friends at Workman Outdoors and VB Racing. Taking another look at the replay here and see what the heck on earth kind of transpired even got us to that point. All I know is that was a nasty little collision off of turn number 4. Looked like Fix was trying to kind of get out of the way, but he slipped up. And again, we talked about how slick the dirt is. It's not easy driving this kind of lane choice here, folks. Having to constantly try to hold down, try to stay out of trouble. There it is. You see the hit. And it didn't look like all that bad of a hit on the 05, but what you really can't tell is that the damage done to that corner panel, digging into that tire, that makes it much worse. And you can even see the tire actually starting to go a little bit flat as she came off the wall. And that's just kind of the ceiling point there, kind of doing her in and doing her dirty. And she's right now going back into pit road trying to get that fixed up as soon as possible here. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, Speed Zone's TV instant replay. Just a tough, tough hit there. We'll see if she can get machine back out there in full pace and full song. Definitely a lot of problems, though, unfortunately, she's going to have to deal with here. As we return back on, lights have flickered off on the pace truck here. The driver will take the race lead away. Vogt will be on his outside. Boyd, Pottle, Thompson, Ziegler, your top 6. As Fix right now tries to get his 83 fixed up and back out on the track after that horrendous little hit there. We'll bring it back off turn number 4 this time on by. And we're bringing the Palmetto Racing League back on the stage. It's green flag racing here on the Bristol Dirt. And Schreiber having to go to the bottom lane, not something he usually wants to deal with. It seems like trying to go back up the outside. Pottle deep into the run now, trying to get a one on the Vogt. Vogt going to have to deal with the presence of the throttle. Chantel Pottle as she brings it back on the bottom. Are trying to get some momentum going on the outside, but man, that Pottle, she is absolutely cooking it again. Taking back where she left off. Vogt not even sure what to do. Schreiber neither. Both drivers leaving confused as the lady of the league is now your race leader once more. And Vogt just absolutely losing it off that corner banking again. You can see just how slick that black tarmac is down there. Again, that is burnt rubber laid down on the track that got cooked up and kerned up as the drivers continue to race on that surface. The more you burn it up, the harder it gets to get a grip and get some control. Now, normally, when you're running on a dirt track like this and you burn up some area to run with and you get that nice little paved area there to get some rubber on the track, that actually is what makes them faster when you have a machine that is actually built for the dirt. Well, these things are not built for dirt. They are literally about as heavy and crazy of machines as you can get. They are basically hunkin' junkin' talking Tonka trucks, if you will. And you can see just how tough, again, they are trying to hold on those lanes, trying to hold down that line. As right now the 14 getting kind of caked up on the front of the nose there. That's something too they're going to have to worry about. Overheating can be a very big factor here the longer this race goes without getting it off. You can see where the airflow vent is on the bottom of that truck there for that Tundra. You see there 14, then you saw also just on the Chevy there it is on the very bottom there. Again, if that gets blocked off or gets cooked up, these drivers will have no way of being able to keep these things from overheating the more they hit the accelerator and get back on that gas pedal. So you got to be thinking, or some of these drivers maybe just kind of laying off a little bit to kind of keep it from overcooking, not only inside that cockpit, but also inside that front hood. As Pottle and Shriver yet again still trying to outclass each other. They've had a history here before at Bristol Dirt. It was a long, long time ago, but at Pushing Limits Racing League, they had run each other down in the Honda Civic Type R's, and it would end up being that both drivers at some point got into each other and wrecked each other out. Pottle would come out of it okay and be able to return back, and so would Shriver, but it would be Pottle in this case getting the better of him, but it would be another winner in that time to take place. But as one driver once said on the little Martinsville track, they said they won the war, they won the battle, but they didn't win the damn war. And it would be Shriver that manages to catch that war and finally get his first season championship in. So you got to be thinking probably that 14 is probably thinking just how much he wants to try to get around that 05 and just get one step ahead. But at the moment, unless he can literally find an anchor to hoist down on that 05, I don't think he's going to be getting many opportunities. She's holding that outside lane up, and she is not giving an inch, and he is barreling that thing into the dirt. We'll have to look towards the bottom lane at some point. Again, the 50-lap stage caution is coming up here. So we look back at the pack here right now. Again, you can see Vogt, he's still trying to catch up there as well. Not giving an inch there, and you can see he's still fighting, but man, he really is just absolutely letting her eat the dirt and let her send on through. He wants so badly to get that thing to kind of take a set and kind of get a run off. The problem is that it's just not being able to stay in clear position and stay in the clear. It's all over the place and kind of swinging off way too much. I think that's something he's taking very close attention to. Now, the funny thing is that here at Bristol, this is the only track that they can actually swap tires out and actually take tire sets here that could make a bigger difference than many of these drivers are believing here. But we'll see in this case, because right now a lot of them seem to just be kind of just trying to figure out where's the right lane, where's the right drive, and kind of survive from there. Thompson is trying to get back up there to Ziegler, as now Ziegler is continuing to hold the 4th spot away from Grandpa Thompson. All right, so I see now it's the HO2, number 45 there. I don't quite have my chat up and running here today. Sadly, I had to charge the equipment to make sure we can actually get this setup going. I don't know what's going on, and honestly, I can't wait to get a new headset when the time comes, because, man, this thing has been giving me a bunch of technical gremlins and troubles that I even dare to say. The 001 there of Boyd, not doing too shabby as well. The Jags peg machine, trying to peg up in the dirt, trying to get some ground clearance and get some runoff. Holding his line pretty good, actually, if y'all thought things considered. Again, it's just not quite getting the momentum run that he wants to, as much as some of the other drivers are. And I think that's kind of playing into a factor of where he wants to race it at and where he's getting most of the speed at. Probably got so used to running that bottom lanes, now having to kind of figure out how to kind of cook up from the top side here. We are rolling closer and closer to our stage break. Lap number 50 is coming up. The throttle, Chantal Bottle right now still holding down a good lane, good lead away there from the dead man. The Shriver is desperately trying to figure out how to keep his dead man racing Tom and Jerry cheese machine ahead of that Fox Racing Lightning Wraps designed up 05 Chevrolet. And talk about getting a lot of that dirt too. That front end right now is getting caked up and getting a lot of it just due to the fact that 05 is completely pulling it off, as now the stage caution has come out. The stage caution has been released. Everybody else right now just trying to cane back up here and trying to get back up in position here as they're looking to try and settle themselves up again. So as we get ready to roll it on through, folks, right now your top 5 is Pottles, Shriver, Vogt, Ziegler, Thompson. Will any of them be able to take this one away from the 05? You'll see here in just a little bit. We will return shortly here to some more live racing action here at Palmetto Racing League. Truck's going to go ahead and clear up on the track side. So crazy to think here, folks. You know, with the Bristol dirt track, this whole circuit really was kind of the brainchild of Marcus Smith, and honestly, just kind of his enduring nature to try different things and try to do some different stuff. And many fans to this day still question whether or not it was necessarily the best idea or the best choice, considering it was mostly made for the NASCAR series. But a lot of folks kind of keep forgetting that way before we ever even had this, it actually did have a whole set of dirt be put on the circuit for the World of Outlaws series way back when. In the 2000s, actually, that was when they were going through a complete change and overhaul and some different designs, different stuff, like that even created into one of the dirt tracks that was created into a football stadium that had more of a configuration to like what a baseball diamond would be. But now, of course, as we know, that St. Louis has kind of taken over that market with their absolutely insane but precious crown jewel, if some people have now claimed, for the Dirt Late Model Series as much as the Modified Series that dares to take part in the Dirt in December race. But back to Bristol again. Bristol had multiple races on dirt sides and on the dirt track. This place, of course, mostly known for its asphalt side, and of course, from way back when, from the history of NASCAR, from the Cup Series to even some of its gnarliest wrecks and situations that have left even some people's jaws on the floor, that how they even survived from. This place is a last great Coliseum indeed, just for what it can bring to the table and what it can do to a driver's mindset and a person's mentality. To win here is to literally be able to be one of, if not the greats, that have now come forth and raced on the fabled grounds here of Bristol Motor Speedway. And I would even be so far as to say that being on the dirt side, that even counts in its own right too. Heading back to the VB Racing Workman Outdoors restart zone, as we're going to bring them right off of turn number 3 and 4 this time on by. Otto Shriver will lead him down as we're going to flick our caution lights off and send it back to the green here at Bristol Dirt. Still 45 laps needed to be completed. High up on the outside right now, the number 14 drilled into the dirt there and kind of drilled up on the wall. And, oh boy, almost getting right into the back. That 05 Apollo. He was trying to dig in, trying to find a route quick to get ahead of her, but did not find it. Thompson not able to seize the opportunity either. Thompson looked like he had a good opportunity there to kind of take one step ahead there, but now he's got to deal with the number 2 of Aaron Vogt closely on his tail and now starting to round out the field. Every driver for themselves, as now even Thompson a little bit all over the place. Swirly off of 4, manages to square it back up. Oh, maybe not so much. Off of turn 1 and 2, manages to keep himself under control though. Oh, backed out, didn't want to put him in the pressure zone. Now Thompson looking to follow the race leader's line here, looking to try and catch some of that fresh, good cushion dirt. Again, that's where a lot of drivers are going to be kind of playing at here, because again, they are trying to get any kind of grip, any kind of sense of speed here. So they're going to do whatever they have to and whatever they can just to try and make it out of this one. And they're doing everything in their power just to get some kind of momentum. And you can see the HO2 of 45's Brent Thompson is just right in that slush and in that momentumous occasion, holding it down wherever he can as Vogt just continues to try to find one right on that outside lane with him. And the harder they run on that dirt surface, man, the more it starts to cake up and the more it starts to build up onto the fronts, the hoods, and everywhere around these trucks. Is now even the battle for the race leads kicking up a little bit again. The 14 is hot on the trail of 05. Pottle is doing everything she possibly can to keep that Fox Racing powered machine ahead of the 14. And I guarantee you right now that dead man's got to be fuming in the back of that cockpit right now. Just thinking, how the heck can I get around the 0-5 when she's this fast on me here? But again, she is not wanting to play around with. She is about as tough as they come and tough as nails on the dirt. Again, that's her background. She is a dirt track racer. Man, look at the cake on the front of that nose, that machine there. The dirt is just all over the place on that thing. I don't even know how the heck that is even like that to begin with, but my word. So much dirt and grime just completely put up on there, and you got to believe, again, it may be affecting his filter for the heat. So you may be getting a lot of oil pressure problems, and if that's the case, then that might be exactly what the 0-5 was hoping for. Keep him behind and just make sure he gets that heated up and make sure he can't get as much power underneath it when he wants to. But I think it's safe to say that 14 does not seem to care very much. Driver doing everything he can. He is looking for a run. He's looking for everything he's got. Otto will still hold it off right now as we look back into the field here. Thompson and Vogt now starting to kind of climb up amongst each other. Thompson, again, I got to believe, just probably eyeing a way to keep his momentum alive. Had a chance a couple weeks ago there at Homestead Miami Speedway to get his victory in. Held off the hard charging number 14 there for a little bit, but was ended up taken down late in the race there and has not been really the same since, but he's still continuing to fight and continuing to drive off as he goes way wide. Oh, and right into the tire barrier, or excuse me, the sand barrier down there off of turn number 2 as a caution's going to brew. That's flying high in the sky, which means we're now needing to figure out what the heck went down for the 45. Take a look at the replay here. Look like Vogt nowhere near him here. It looks like Thompson just gets loose on his own. Yep, right there you can see that thing is literally about as sideways as they can get before, well, you know the rest. Coming on close to impact, sees, you gotta believe at this point he's just hoping he can save it. And then bam, look at the parts just flying right off of that 45 machine. Took a gnarly little hit. Stopped right in front of the field. And again, the field having to get the heck out of Dodge and get away from him. Good call on their part. But man, oh man, oh man. What a hit. A tough break. The number 45 there up, Brent Thompson. We now return to the feed here. All drivers have now lined back up. We had a little bit of a miscommunication problem on the live timing there. We got it fixed. We're going to roll them right off of turn number 3 and 4 this time on by. We have listened in the pit crew chiefs as well. The Paulo is being told, just keep doing what you're doing. The 14 being told, simply put, don't worry about your heating temp. You're fine. Just get this thing ahead where you can as the green flag flies on by. All right, charge back on the outside lane. Paulo back down on the bottom lane, trying to get a run there off that bottom groove. Down a little bit of grip. Now she has to get back to the top before they start coming quick. Here comes Aaron Vogt. Slide jobbing down off of turn number 2. Going right there into the mix. Couldn't quite lift it up quick enough there. We'll see them all three going battling for the lead. Vogt digging in quick and trying to find a lane. Shriver all over the place too. Lost. As we now return back onto the circuit here, folks, we're going to go look at the Speed Zone TV instant replay, brought to you in part by Workman Outdoors and VB Racing. Here is the reason for the caution. Take a look right off turn number 1. And Andrew Ziegler and Doyle Boyd are going to make a little connection here. The old love tap off the back there, as Ziegler had nowhere to go and was right in the way of Boyd. Boyd trying to avoid the obvious collision, but to none avail. I do apologize. It sounds like my voice kind of just cut down there, cut off there for a second. Again, I'm just dealing with a really bad headset and microphone, so I do apologize to you guys and gals at home. We'll be looking into getting a new one here within the next day or two, but hopefully by next week we should have a brand new microphone and headset ready to go for us here on Speed Zone TV. A good way to help kind of benefit us and help get us to that microphone and headset quicker, just simply hit a little like and follow and subscribe button here on our YouTube channel, and check out all our videos from past and present. I guarantee you some bangers on there. Even some that even iRacing had decided to take clips from and show to the fans. As we bring them back to the green, caution lights are off and green lights are back on. And Paula this time wasting absolutely no time, knew she needed to get a run quick, and she does, as Shriver barreling through that wall protection, trying to stay off the 2, but also trying to get ahead of that 5. Oh, slightly above there on the run, trying to take the lead, but he gets too aggressive off the exit and sucked it right back on the bottom. No grip and no go there. Gonna try to drive it back down on that 14 Shriver. He's not letting up. He is literally putting it right in the slick. Again, they're running open setups so they can find a way to tighten them up if they need to. That's why you see some drivers are running tighter than others and some that are looser than others. It's just the way they set up these machines. And Vogt, oh, he's going to get way too hard off the exit there. Once again, he's trying so hard to pound it down the ground, and he just gets himself into a nasty little situation as he lost it off of turn 2 yet again. Here comes Doyle Boyd and Andrew Ziegler. You've got yourself a battle for the 3rd place spot, as Boyd now slightly ahead right from the front, from the entrance. Got a good entry there, but not a good exit. Vogt managing to make him pay for it. Flips back up now, is trying to get back up into the high side. Again, Vogt probably was running more towards the bottom lane when he was in practice, and now having to realize he's going into unfamiliar territory. That's the hardest part about being in this situation, is you're having to run in different types of ground clearance, as well as when the track starts to break down. And that's the thing about dirt, is once that track starts to break down, it becomes such a harder compilation to have to deal with and have to be put into the pressured zone. So many, and I mean so many drivers are constantly in that throttle, and they are desperately just trying to find that one little leg up to get ahead of everybody in that field. Brent Thompson, Andrew Ziegler, all looking at Boyd and Vogt, looking for the 3rd spot, so it could be a 4-truck battle here for the 3rd place position. Vogt doing everything he can right now just to stay one step ahead there of Boyd, as Boyd is just diving in deep and down in the bottom lane. He's forcing Vogt into unfamiliar territory as he drives it way back up there. There you go. Sliders, they're open for business. And one tasty one just landed in the mouth of Aaron Vogt, as Boyd is going to take the spot away. Oh, man, Vogt needed to chomp down on that one a little quicker, and now looks like he's going to have himself a slider. Oh, but this time he's going to slide into the 001. Boy, nowhere to go as they both rub and race. Rubbing is racing, and if you're going to rub anywhere, well, by darn it, you're going to have to see it here at Bristol. This track is well known and extremely infamous for its rubbing is racing mentality. Other than the quarter miles and less than a half-mile long tracks, man, I don't think you can really get any closer to each other in terms of an overall position and race pace than a track like Bristol, whether it be on the dirt or on the asphalt. And right now, everybody's just doing what they can, trying to hold on and trying to stay one step ahead of transitions, trying to stay ahead of the machines. The old man, Brent Thompson, right now, or I should say the wisely veteran, a bit of a Wrigley veteran spot here, as he is just absolutely cooking the lane choice and trying to cook some momentum up. He's doing what he can to get ahead there. Boyd, as Boyd continues to fight up hard and fight down quick. continuing to run their lane down on the choice there. We're getting near the end of this one here, as hopefully my mic doesn't go out one more time here. I'm hoping just to last out just a little longer with 7 laps left to go. The Throttle, Chantel Bottle, and that dead man, Christian Schreiber, are going to now have to play for keeps here. Both drivers are literally on the edge of their seat, edge of their drive. Nothing is out of the ordinary from these two, but man, which one is going to get the better of the other? 6 laps now left to go. Pottle with an advantage still, driving it farther and farther away. Needs to stay off the wall. Try to keep some lane choice and grip there, but you see the 14, he is just cooking the cushion. He has momentum. In my opinion, he's got a little bit more momentum than Pottle does, but he can't seem to keep it off the wall, and that's what's slowing him down. He's trying desperately to push that thing in as quick as he can, try to get more grip, but you got to be wondering, too, how hot is that engine getting? Is it going to be a little too much left in it? He's desperately trying to find something, trying to find whatever he can here as he continues to work him on down. Off turn number 4, 4 laps left to go. There's a slight advantage there from the dead man. Gets a good grip off the corners. Right back in lane choice now with Pottle. Pottle trying desperately to stay one step ahead. Continues to defend the top. Looking for the inevitable slide job if it's going to come. What will happen here right now? Pottle again just absolutely working the wheel and working the throttle. That's living up to her nickname, the Throttle, Chantel Pottle. Can she hang on just a little bit longer, though, with 3 laps left to go? Time is of the essence. Nobody is safe here right now. Everyone just trying to dig in quick, trying to dig in fast. A 14 trying to get back to victory lane after his big win at Laguna. Pottle trying to get to victory lane after a long time out of it. With 2 to go, the green flag is up in the air. Only one more lap will be this time on by with that white flag going to be high in the sky. Coming off turn number 3 and 4, they are going to get to the white. The next flag ends it. Pottle is going to go for broke here, trying to hold down. This is your VB Racing Workman Outdoors final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Pottle holding on quick. Schreiber desperately trying to make a run, trying to get one more big jump. He's going for broke on the outside. Going to try and see if he can find a way to the inside lane, but it's going to be too little too late. The Throttle is going to victory lane. Chantel the Throttle Pottle, after a long time out from the dirt and from victory lane, not only gets one up from her rival and her old friend, but she's going to take down a whole who's who of heavy competitors that have been giving her a fight all season long. As a little show of respect from the 14 revving the engine on the 05, saying, you got me this time, but next time don't count on it. Oat and Shriver both end up pit road. Ziegler and Thompson joining them shortly as Fix also finishes up. But there she is, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here for Palmetto Racing League. It's the 05 Fox Racing Lightning Race Machine of Chantel the Throttle Pottle. What a race. What a battle. What a fight. Nothing was left out on the table and nobody was giving up on this one, man. Talk about a long, long road. They had to absolutely scour and scourge for every little bit they could, just trying to hang on and just doing what they needed to, as we are now going to pop up our race results here, presented in part by VB Racing and Workman Outdoors. The Throttle Chantel Pottle is going to be your race winner here. The Dead Man Christian Char are going to go second. Third is going to go to Aaron Vogt. Fourth to Doyle Boyd. Fifth to Andrew Ziegler. Brent Thompson going to go sixth. And seventh, we'll round it out with Joshua Fix. That is your race results. And I got to believe right now the Throttle Chantel Pottle is just going to be living on cloud 9 for a little while, but she'll have to come back down soon enough, because tomorrow night, the final race of the Lightning Esports, league is going to go to a heated finale. 5 drivers, including her, will be looking for the season championship stake. Which one of those 5 will come out on top? You will soon find out here live tomorrow night. But until then, race fans, a big thank you to Palmetto Racing League for bringing us to the show and getting us on the show. Race fans, we appreciate you coming on by. From all of us here at Speed Zone TV, Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your time and enjoy your holidays as we send it off here from Bristol, Tennessee.